This is the book of Daniel, chapter 5, and I'll start at verse 27. Well, I'll start at verse 26. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, I have numbered thy kingdom, this kingdom here, Babylon the Great, just as old Babylon was numbered and brought to its end. The Lord has weighed this place in the balance and will no more have this place continue in its wickedness, because its sins have reached unto the heavens. Let me read it from the top. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, I have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. That's why you're seeing all these nations encroaching that have never, that would never think to step against Babylon. You see Babylon falling, becoming a third world country. Its people are becoming disgruntled. They're being hunted, kidnapped, destroyed in these other parts of the world. The hegemony of America is no longer, and it's completely falling apart. The morality of this place has ended. Verse 27, Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and are found wanting, which is lacking. See, the Lord was fair with you. He weighed you in the balance. He called you out. Like, what are you doing? Are you doing anything that's good? Are you worthy to continue? Or, as the nations of old and kingdoms that came before, will you be destroyed and thrown down because of your pride? Just as Nebuchadnezzar was turned into a beast until he acknowledged that YAHAWAH ruled by YAHAWASHI in the kingdom of men. All right. Verse 28, Paras, thy kingdom is divided. Hey, that's why civil war is going to come to this land, to this place, Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. There's enemies within, and there are so many enemies without. And you're seeing that in full color, all right, in real time. And given to the Medes and Persians, just as of old, the Medes and Persians took down ancient Babylon. It was just a transfer of power, okay? But this time around, those Medes being the Russians and the Persians being the Iranians are going to take part in destroying this place, as it is written in Revelation, all right, that the head was that of a leopard going into the kingdom and structure of the beast system, beginning during the Greek era under Alexander. And the end of this structure, this beast system in this digital age, will come by way of the bear. It says head of a leopard and the feet of a bear. Okay? So the end of this system, this power structure, will come by way of the Russians, which are the bear. It says, Paras, thy kingdom is divided, which is civil war is coming to this queendom, America, and given to the Medes and Persians because they're without, waiting, taunting, sending warnings, all right, puffing at you, sending body shots to you, so to speak, drawing you out, baiting you, so to speak, because the Persians are messing up with one of your allies in the region that you have interest in, and then you have the Medes sending their nuclear subs and their military arsenal, which is way more advanced than the West and America, to taunt you, to see if you'll come out. So the world is watching and waiting, holding their breath, seeing what side will make the first move. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 7. Verse 7. It's only one chapter, verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy. I'm going to read both the KJV and NLT versions and get this lesson started. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee, because of that dollar, because the petrodollar, because they had to deal with the dollar to trade in oil and other things to get goods and services. But that time is over. After 50 years, that has come to a close with the deal that the Saudis made with America back in the 70s. It has come to an end. And at the very same time, the BRICS nations are selling and trading in their own currencies to do business. And there's no way that America could come up against all of them. They can come against one or the other. They can't come against all of them. And plus, the main nations leading the way in that group are nuclear-powered nations, and also on the world, their world powers. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, going into having covenants and agreements with you, trade and getting money with you, all right, and having their goods and services given to you while you receive their goods and services for a lump sum or a price, all right, a price to be paid. But now that time has come to an end. It says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. It says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. See, you won't even know about it because these things are happening under closed doors. And they're doing the exact same thing that you would do. But since you've been moving in an offensive state this whole time, you never thought to beef up your defenses. But now that they're attacking you on the offense, you have no defense. So it seems like it's happening out of nowhere. But no, this has been going on. And the prophets have been told you that this would happen. So with that, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. YAHAWAH is the name of the Heavenly Father, in whom the world is ignorantly called Jehovah, or Yahweh. And YAHAWASHI is the name of his only begotten Son, in whom the world has ignorantly called Jesus Christ, in whom we do worship. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings, giving double honors unto my apostles, my elders, and my teachers at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so. Salutations, peace, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, that house of David. To you brothers out there fighting this good fight of faith, keep it up. To you sisters doing that which is becoming of women, Shalawam. And to those that are addicted unto this ministry, I say, Shalawam. Lord's willingness is an edifying lesson. This is, you shall be made desolate with them, the Nuclear Doctrine. All right. Double honors unto my apostles and elders, my teachers at Great Millstone, once again, that are ruling well and continue to do so, that are leading us in this ministry to do the will of the Heavenly Father and his Son, to divide the holy things from the profane, and to rightly divide the word of truth, and that have also given us the two most important things we could ever know in this truth, to go forward and to be preserved from the said evils that are to come. The name of the Heavenly Father and the name of his only begotten Son, their true and proper names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, our language, the Lashwan QADASH, which means holy tongue. Lashwan meaning tongue and QADASH meaning holy. Now these be the names that are written. The name of the Heavenly Father is YAHAWAH. Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning exists or is to be. He is, he exists. He, the existing one. For he is a rewarder of them that diligently seeks him. And in the name of his only begotten Son, a name that is above every name, given amongst men here on earth, to the Israelite man first, and also to the believer, consisting of women, children, helps of the prophets, and those that have faith. They would be calling upon that name, even that mighty name, the name YAHAWASHI. Yah meaning he, Hawashai meaning deliverer and savior. For that is exactly what he will come and do for the second time in physical form, yet as an angelic force, for we shall see him as he is, and we shall be like him. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. This is the book of Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon, which is America, have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. in Yahweh Shemashai's hand, is the Lord Yahweh that brought this nation up, especially after World War II. Okay, with Europe decimated and the other nations in disarray, America was divided by two great oceans and was untouched, and was able to rebuild these war-torn European nations, all right, and get rich by it, because what came on the scene was America as a superpower, and they joined with these UN or EU nations that formed together in an economic community and became the head of them as the whore, ride, and the beast. And they came together to combat the encroaching movements of Russia after World War II. And they formed an alliance under the Treaty of Rome in 1957, and it was established in 1958. Now, going even further down, about maybe a decade later, it was 1967. And just a few more years after that, under Nixon, they would officially have the dollar be the world currency for oil trade under the Saudis, okay, that were shipping out the oil. And they made the dollar the petrodollar and made America greater than it's ever been. But now that time is done. And the Lord set all this up, all right, to have these nations drunken under the way of Babylon, how it moved, its allure. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh Shemashai's hand that made all the earth drunken with its philosophies and lies and its illusion of power. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, the nations are ready for war now, because everything that you promised them was a lie. They ate your bread because they had to, but the whole time they were laying a wound under you. All right? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Yeah. In an instant, Babylon will be destroyed by nuclear weapons. But how has Babylon, which is America, suddenly fallen? And how is it destroyed? By nuclear weapons and by the coming of the Lord, his second coming, YAHAWASHI, to destroy it with fire, because its sins have reached unto heaven, and the wages of sin is death. And the Lord shall overthrow this place as he did Sodom and Gomorrah. It says, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And many presidents, all right, since what? Just do George Bush Jr., on down to Obama, on down to Trump, and then on down to this dude Biden, have tried to heal America with these quantitative easing bills and plans. And it has only prolonged the inevitable. Reads on, NLT, but suddenly Babylon too has fallen. Weep for her, give her medicine, perhaps she can yet be healed. That's what they tried, but there's no turning back. The Lord has determined that this place will be destroyed. We're just watching it go down. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, everyone, into his own country. These nations that made money off this place are fleeing now because they see the encroaching sword, which is war. And they see what America is doing in the face of the Almighty. Even though these other nations worship idols and things of that nature, they know that there's a higher power. They understand the God of Israel and what he have done and what he will do. And now the prophets are on the scene, so they truly have an understanding of what the Lord is about to do, and are fearful and are fleeing back into their lands according to prophecy. And America is only becoming more and more worse as the days progress. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. NLT. We would have helped her if we could, but nothing can save her now. I said like that. But nothing can save her now. It's pretty much done. Let her go. Abandon her. Return now to your own land, for her punishment reaches to the heavens. It is so great it cannot be measured. But that's why the destruction of this place is going to be so great. And you shall be made desolate with them. Israel is going to be destroyed, but rebuilt. America is going to be decimated and destroyed from sea to shining sea and never rise again. And these other nations are going to be hit with nuclear weaponry to make the earth rock to and fro, but they will be replenished in time, because America will be a monument, a memorial, a sign, an ensign of what not to do against the Lord, against his name, against his power, against his people. All right? And against his son, his only begotten. Because his word and his will is about to do Babylon in, setting Babylon up, America. It says, the Lord Yahawah Bashimashai hath brought forth our righteousness, which is of Mashiach. All right? Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord Yahawah Bashimashai, our power. The Lord has vindicated us. Come, let us announce in Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people before it's a place where we're announcing among our people that the Lord is going to vindicate us, and the Lord reigns. It says, everything the Lord Yahawah Bashimashai, our power, has done. This is the point, verse 11. Make bright the arrows, which is the nuclear weaponry of these nations. Make bright the arrows. Gather the shields, pretty much prepare for war. The Lord Yahawah Bashimashai have raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes, which are the Russians, for his device is against Babylon, America, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahawah Bashimashai, the vengeance of his temple, because the Edomites burned our temple during the time of the Babylonians. And they burned it down again during the time of the Romans. So the Lord has seen fit to do the same unto you, O Babylon. Burn you to nothing. All right? That's what the Lord has determined and planned to do, and he will do it. Okay? It says, sharpen the arrows. Lift up the shields. Pretty much a nuclear arms race. It says, sharpen the arrows. Lift up the shields. For the Lord Yahawah Bashimashai has inspired the kings of the Medes, the Russians, to march against Babylon and destroy her. This is his vengeance against those who desecrated his temple. You see that? That's it. That is it. And let me jump down below. Let me go to 28. And down below, let me go to terrors. Well, actually, let me hold that on deck. All right. Let me hold this on deck. To this scripture here in the 5th verse is going to coincide with Isaiah 14 that we read earlier. But let me get that real quick, and I'm going to go to 28. But let me go to Isaiah real quick. Isaiah 14 going into how Esau Edom is going to be thrown out. The other nations are going to be decimated, but they ain't going to be completely wiped out. They're going to eventually return into their lands after 1,000 years. But Esau Edom will not be so. All right, let's get it. Oh, yeah. There it is, right here. Yep. Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee. This is in the kingdom and after your destruction. Saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms by way of what? Atomic warfare that evolved into nuclear warfare. It says, everyone there will stare at you and ask, can this be the one who shook the earth and made the kingdoms of the world tremble? Question. Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness, pretty much uninhabitable in certain parts, like Babylon is going to be a forbidden zone, a wilderness. It says that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. That's us. We're the prisoners. He didn't set us free. It says, is this the one who destroyed the world and made it into a wasteland? Is this the king who demolished the world's greatest cities and had no mercy on his prisoners? Yeah. Man, demolished cities with his power. Kosovo and Baghdad and, all right, and Fallujah, all right, and Nagasaki and Hiroshima with the atom bomb at least. But then with other weaponry, he demolished and destroyed cities. And then with these weapons, they're going to shoot him off, and he's going to demolish other cities, including his own, the great city, which is America. Because of his insolence, his arrogance. It says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. Yeah, because these kings are going to be set back in their lands, but they're going to serve Israel. It says, the kings of the nations lie in stately glory, each in his own tomb. They're going to be buried, though. See? Because they said, we were not put into our graves, pretty much told where we were and put to rest. These nations are finally going to be placed in their lands after 1,000 years of hardcore, rigorous slavery. But they're going to be under Israel forever. They're going to be placed in their graves and tombs. They're going to at least know who they are and what their purpose is, according to building up our kingdom. All right, it says, but thou, this is talking about Esau, Edom, but thou art cast out of thy grave. You're not going to be put to rest or buried, like an abominable branch. And as the raiment of those that are slain thrust through. Yeah, when you're slain, you have blood on you, that makes you unclean. You're an unclean thing, Esau. You're going to be cast out of the garden. It says, and as the raiment of those that are slain thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. But you will be thrown out of your grave like a worthless branch, like a corpse trampled underfoot. You will be dumped into a mass grave with those killed in battle. You will be, this is like Salakia, you will descend to the pit. All right. And let me read this here in Revelation 20:5. But the rest of the dead, talking about the other nations, lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished at that first dominion. This is the first resurrection. All right. That's it. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection, which is the elect. On such the second death, nuclear holocaust, hath no power, but they shall be priests of YAHAWAH and of Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years, that first day of eternity. All right, it goes coinciding with this right here in Isaiah 14. While the other nations are going to live after 1,000 years and be buried pretty much in their graves, every person in their stately glory. Pretty much there's going to be the kings and rulers of these other nations, but they're going to always and forever be under Israel, because their kings are going to be our, or their queens are going to be our nursing mothers, and the kings are nursing fathers, and we're going to suck the breast of kings, which means take the nourishment of these nations, constantly coming into Jerusalem. Our gates are going to be open continually. All right, it says, verse 20, it says, thou shalt not be joined with them, talking about Esau, Edom, in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, America, and slain thy people, being greedy and ugly in these different world wars. He's slain his own kind in these wars because he wanted these lands and the resources of these lands. All right? And slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. It says, you will not be given a proper burial, for you have destroyed your nation and slaughtered your people. The descendants of such an evil person will never again receive honor. All right? Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. The reason all this is happening is because of what you did, Esau, Edom, in the past, how you destroyed the Lord's temple. Your people and descendants will be destroyed and slaughtered. And if they multiply, it is for the sword. All right? You gonna bear children for slavery. And they're going to be put to the sword. All right? Because of your insolence, because of your evil. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities, because this same man is going to be the one that has demolished his cities, as the people are going to ask, is this the one that made the earth to tremble, that destroys cities? Yeah, he ain't going to have any cities to come back, to repopulate, all right, to gain power. It won't happen again. It says, kill this man's children. Let them die because of their father's sins, which is really them. They must not rise and conquer the earth, filling the world with their cities. See? For I will rise up against them. Let me read that again. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, all the males, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI. Sit. This is what the Lord YAHAWASHI of heaven's armies says. I myself have risen against Babylon. I will destroy its children and its children's children, says the Lord. Man. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water. And I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, going into the nuclear holocaust, the fire that's going to sweep across the land and destroy this place. I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI of hosts. I will make Babylon a desolate place of owls, filled with swamps and marshes. I will sweep the land with the broom of destruction. I, the Lord YAHAWASHI of heaven's armies, have spoken. See that? That's it. That's it. Let me read verse 5 again one more time, just to bring it all home. Revelation 20 and 5. But the rest of the dead, the other nations, lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. That first 1,000 years when the elect reigns with Mashiach to bring in the kingdom of heaven. After the rigorous 1,000-year, all right, rule, which is only the beginning of the dominion of Israel for all time, the other nations are going to be returned to their lands, all right? And the resources and the glory of their lands are going to be given unto Israel. But Edom is going to be cast out as an abominable branch, and his land is going to be given to Judah, all right? So it all makes sense, all right? Everything has its purpose. Everything is going to be, is going to do what the Lord have commanded it to do. Now, let me get that. Terrors. We're going to enter here. We're going to go to Job. Bear with me, brothers. Job 34:20. Going into the nuclear holocaust. In a moment shall they die, and the people shall be troubled at midnight. Going into the nuclear war, nuclear holocaust. All right, there's a thing called the doomsday clock. And they say when it hits 12 midnight, that means nuclear war, nuclear holocaust, mutually assured destruction. It says, in a moment they shall die, and the people shall be troubled at midnight, going into the doomsday clock, and pass away, and the mighty shall be taken away without hand. See that? That's it. Now let's go to Job 18. And another thing that was said in the clip that I love, that my man Ian said, he said, I'll tell you the problem about scientific discovery, you know, with the genetic power, the most powerful thing that, you know, the world has ever seen. But you wield this power as a child who's found his father's gun, right? But then he also said, I'll tell you the problem. I'll tell you what the problem is. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. See, Esau had no discipline. He's a child. He's wicked. He's evil. He doesn't listen. He's disobedient. But the power that he wields, it didn't take any discipline to attain it. It was just given to him. Though he sought it carefully with tears, he was given this great sword. But with the same sword will he destroy himself. How about that? Let me get, I'll start at verse 5. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The Lord is going to take away this man's, his life and his kingdom. All right? Esau Edom is only going to be not a myth, but he's going to be recorded in the histories. That's the only place you're going to be able to find this guy after 1,000 years. After that 1,000-year period, the only place you're going to be able to find Esau Edom is within the scrolls, is within these words, that there was a people and they're no longer. It says, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, which means to be made difficult. The more and more this man moves toward his NWO, his New World Order, the more difficult it gets for him. Because time is running out for him, and the Lord is mustering the host of the battle, bringing everybody to the border, and is revealing this man. The wicked shall be revealed in his time. It says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. Hey, there's fighting and disagreements among these elites, from the older elites to the younger elites. Certain ones that want to move now and others that want to be patient and wait. But a lot of these older elites are dying off. So the Lord he's speeding up their process. Like, come on, hurry up. Do what you got to do. And let's move on. Let's get this thing going. It says, the confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall. That's it. It says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, going into his plans. But the Lord is going to use his plans for his own purposes. Like, all right, I kind of like that idea. I'm going to use that only to destroy those I don't want. Those that take this MOTB, there's a missile going to be waiting for them. Those that adhere to this man's new system is going to be decimated and destroyed anyway. It's not going to come to fruition. It's not going to last. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare, a trap. The Lord has set him up. Babylon is also taken, but thou was not aware. See, that's in with Jeremiah. It says, the jinn shall take him by the heel. And ultimately, the jinn is YAHAWASHI. It's going to take him at the last moment. It's going to be unexpected, just as Esau was trying to escape out of the womb, and Jacob grabbed his heel like, man, where you going? You can't escape. It says, the jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robbers shall prevail against him. The robbers, ultimately, is talking about the missiles. They're going to be like an army leaping over the walls. And in the ancient world, when you attacked the city and you actually broke down the walls, everything within was for the taking, for spoil or for destruction. So these missiles is going to be like an army, like men, like robbers, like looters, and they're going to clean out the whole land. All right? The robbers shall prevail against him. All right? It says the trap grabs them by the heel. A snare holds them tight. Let's get this word robber real quick. The word there in the Hebrew is tazamayim. Tazamayim. Snare, trap, noose, off. A noose, like give the man enough rope to hang himself. This man has set himself up just like Haman. He built those gallows for Mordecai, not knowing that he himself and his sons was going to be put on those gallows. Hey, it says meaning doubtful. So this man is doubtful. He's moving with doubt now. He ain't moving in confidence. It's destruction. Going in ultimately the missiles. Yeah. What are you going to do when those missiles are launched? I mean, where are you going to go? You ain't going to have nowhere to go. Let's play this clip. Shalawam.
See the lack of humility before nature that's being displayed here staggers.
Well, thank you, Dr. Malcolm, but I think things are a little bit different than you and I had feared.
Yeah, I know. They're a lot worse.
Now, wait a second. Now, we haven't even seen seen the
Don't let him talk. There's no reason. No, I want to hear every viewpoint. I really do.
Yeah, don't you see the danger, John, inherent in what you're doing here? Genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen, but you wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun. It's hardly appropriate to start hurling generalizations. If I may, I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it.
Woo! I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you have here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. That's it. You see? It didn't require any discipline to attain it, Esau. You don't even know what power you have. And it's not even your own power. It was given unto you. The Lord put it into the minds of these modern-day smiths, the scientists, to make to create a weapon for the war of his making. World War III. These are the weapons of the Lord's indignation. It says the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. See that? A noose lies hidden on the ground. A rope is stretched across their path. A trap. Lord is setting you up. He's leading you to your own destruction. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. You have all these treaties and plans, and we'll have these nuclear deals, and we're not going to, but it's not up to you. The Lord wants you to launch those missiles, and you will at his appointed time. It says, terrors shall make him afraid on every side. Hey, the nuclear subs. All right, the falling of the dollar, the petrodollar being discarded after 50 years. These things are making him afraid on every side. Encroaching civil war, world war, his hegemony being lost in different parts of the world, his enemies being attacked, but he being able to really do nothing. Only to flex, but not to really show any power. It says, terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Terror surround the wicked, and trouble them at every step. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side, going into those missiles. Hunger depletes their strength, and calamity waits for them to stumble. Yeah, because they're hungry for power, but each step they're taking is leading to their end, their demise, calamity. It says, it shall devour the strength of his skin, going into the missiles. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. Going into YAHAWASHI, he's the firstborn of death. He's going to come with those missiles to devour this man. All right, to destroy him. All right. It says, disease eats their skin. What can do that? Nuclear weaponry, radiation. Death devours their limbs. Man, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. That's the king of terrors. It says they are torn from the security of their homes and brought down to the king of terrors. Now you're going to be stripped of your homes, the places that you call home, because these missiles are going to root you up out of it and bring you to the king of terrors, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, going into the missiles, the fire and the brimstone, because it is none of his. Yeah, you stole these lands that you occupy now, America. Okay? It says, it shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. That's the point. The homes of the wicked will burn down. Burning sulfur rains on their houses. Talking about the missiles. His roots shall be dried up beneath, going into your posterity. And above shall his branches be cut off. Yeah, ain't nobody going to make it out of the land of America. If you're an Edomite, you're all going to be destroyed, disintegrated. Now, other Edomites in the different parts of the world, they're going to go into captivity and bring you back for you to serve your slavery. And then in the end, you as a nation will be destroyed. Okay? Now, let me read this here in Job 34 and 21. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, Yahweh Shemashai, the king of terrors. It says, he seeth all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. For he will not lay upon man more than right, that he should enter into judgment with YAHAWAH. BAHASHAM. He shall break in pieces mighty men without number, and set others in their stead. That's exactly what the Lord is going to do. He's going to set the meek in the stead of the wicked, of the ungodly. Therefore, he knoweth their works, and he overturneth them in the night. That's where we're at. Esau's kingdom. We're at the night of his kingdom, which is the beginning of a new day according to our customs. So they are destroyed. He striketh them as wicked men in the open sight of others. See, the Lord's going to strike Babylon, and everybody's going to see it. He strikes them as wicked men in the open sight of others. Well, I'll tell you the problem here, Esau, Edom, about these weapons that you have. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. So you won't take any credit for it. Whatever it does is destructive act. You won't take the credit for it. But it ain't for you to take the credit. It's going to be known that YAHAWASHI have done this unto you and have unleashed this great godlike power upon you for your punishment and destruction and correction. It says their roots will dry up. This is verse 16. NLT. And their branches will wither. Verse 17, NLT. All memory of their existence will fade from the earth, especially of America. It ain't going to be remembered in our kingdom. It's going to be known as Babylon, Babal, forbidden zone, place of evil men. That's what it's going to be known as. All right, that place over there, the forbidden zone. It says all memory of their existence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their names. Only through the scriptures will you understand who the Edomites were. We ain't going to really be mentioning Russia and America and these other places. We're going to name them as what they are according to the scriptures. Oh, yeah, the Medes, the modern-day Medes, RAWCHAA, came up against Babylon, Babal, which is AHTHAM, and destroyed them. And they themselves were destroyed and put into captivity. And at the end of that 1,000 years, my sons and my daughters, we, the Israelites, Yahshua, through the spirit and power of our God and his anger and his judgment and his fury, wiped out the Edomites for all that they have done. And they are no longer. The only place you may find them is in our holy books. And that's it. That's how it's going to be. Let's play the rest of this.
You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it.
Woo, you see that? He says you read what others had done and didn't attain the knowledge for yourselves. See? Hey, because Esau Edom knows about these ancient kingdoms that went down, that were destroyed. But he didn't give a damn about that. He didn't care. He didn't look to the latter end of it. Salakia. Let me see if I can find that point. Bear with me, brothers. I wanted to find that point where the dad was talking to this demon, Esau Edom. Pretty much like, hey, you gonna be where we at. See that? Bear with me, brothers. Yeah, maybe I already passed it up, but it's all good. How's it go? Might have already read it, but we shall see. Let me get that up in my face, going into the destruction in my face. It's in Ezekiel. Yeah, I believe that's it right there. Yep, going into the destruction of our land, and how it's going to send a shockwave through all the earth, the nations. Because not only Babylon is going to be hit and decimated and destroyed, but Israel is going to be hit with nuclear fire. And that's really going to shock the earth, because they're going to be thinking, well, I thought the people of the Lord was in the land. Nope. Imposters are in the land. Let's get it. Okay. Verse 18, it says, and it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog, now we know this is Russia, shall come against the land of Israel. Yeah, because our region, that region over there where our land is, that's where the battle of Armageddon is going to take place, over in that area. All right, the Fertile Crescent, Saudi Arabia. All right. And the Russians are over there now with troopers crossing over the Euphrates that have dried up, according to the prophecy, to prepare the kings of the east. All right. And now they're flexing their military might on a world stage. All right. To combat Americans. Okay, what's going on? Okay. All right. Not bad. It says let me see. Let me read. There we go. And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord YAHAWAH by Shemashai power, that my fury shall come up in my face, going into those missiles hidden. Because the Lord's eyes is on the land constantly. So when they finally nuke that land, the fury of the Lord is going to come up into his face, because he's going to see the destruction of that land for its insolence and the vermin vanquished out of it. It says, but this is what the sovereign Lord YAHAWAH by Shemashai says, when Gog invades the land of Israel, my fury will boil over. In my jealousy and blazing anger, I promise a mighty shaking in the land of Israel on that day. Yeah, the missiles going to hit. Okay. Let's see here. Where's that at? Brim, there we go. Okay, it's getting down to it. It says, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. And the mountains shall be thrown down, going into these governments, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. All these defense systems or whatever, they're going to be made to be a joke in that day. All right. The Lord is going to throw down these kingdoms, and the kingdoms of this world shall become the kingdoms, have become the kingdoms of our power and of his anointed. It says, and will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord YAHAWAH by Shemashai power. Every man's sword shall be against his brother, world war. And I will plead, which is judge, against him with pestilence and with blood. I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him in overflowing rain going into the missiles, and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord YAHAWAH. Yeah, that's how the Lord is going to know. Because he ain't with the Russians, he's against them, but he's going to use them and these other nations with them to destroy Babylon. But once Babylon is decimated, destroyed, and Israel is destroyed, the Lord is going to be jealous over his land and over his people, and he's going to destroy the rest of these heathen and these nations. And to let the ones in the earth know that the Lord have done this, and these world powers and their armies are no more. And the only army that stands is the army of Yahushua, the angelic forces that came with YAHAWASHI. That man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and he saved his elect, and shall place them back in their land, and all those that remain will go into captivity. Let's play the rest of this.
You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
See? Not knowing that the Lord was behind all this, your scientists. That it is the Lord that ruleth in the kingdom of men. Let me get that. We'll end it on that. We'll end it on Daniel. Just to let you know, Esau, Edom, it's not of your power. You're nothing. You're through. Hey. Let me get that. Giving up of the ghost. Of the ghost. Of the ghost. We're going to go to Daniel. Oh, Daniel 4 and 17. All right. Bear with me, brothers. Oh, yep. This is Job 11 and 20. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. It's your only hope. That's the only hope of the wicked. All right, and then we're going to end it here on this, on Daniel. Let's play the rest of this.
Condors. Condors are on the verge of extinction. If I was to create a flock of condors on this island, you wouldn't have anything to say.
No, hold on. This isn't some species that was obliterated by deforestation or the building of a dam. Dinosaurs had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction.
I simply don't understand this Luddite attitude, especially from a scientist. I mean, how can we stand in the light of discovery and not act?
Oh, what's so great about discovery? It's a violent, penetrative act that scars what explores what you call discovery. I call the rape of the natural world.
He said discovery is a violent, penetrating act, and it scars and destroys whatever it, so-called discovers. And he's right. He said, well, you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world. And he said dinosaurs had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction. So Esau, Edom, you had your shot, and YAHAWASHI has selected you for extinction because you're through. It said the only hope of the wicked, we just read it, is the giving up of the ghost. Let's read that again, Job 11 and 20. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. Death. It says, this matters by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. And that's what he did for you, Esau, Edom. But it is the Most High that ruleth in the kingdom of men. Let me see if I can get that where Nebuchadnezzar was put in his place. That was it. 17 was good too, but let's see here. There we go. So I want to read this part here real quick. It says, all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doth according to his will, YAHAWASHI, in the army of heaven, and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand, or say unto him, what doest thou? It says, all the people of the earth are nothing compared to him. He does as he pleases among the angels of heaven and among the people of the earth. No one can stop him or say to him, what do you mean by doing these things? This is what the Lord wants to happen, and they will happen. Call Ayimla YAHAWASHI for this lesson. Hey, Esau, you have discovered atomic and nuclear power in a sense because the Lord wanted you to bring it out. for the war of his making. All right? But what you call discovery, Esau, Edom, I call the rape of the natural world. And because you have done this thing, you shall be cast out as an abominable branch. You are nothing. All right? And the Lord's going to put you on the lower state again. All right? Man. Let me read this in the NLT. You will be driven from human society. You will live in the fields with the wild animals. Hey, you're going to be reduced to nothing again, Esau. This happened to you during that 1,000-year period of the Dark Ages. But you're going to be reduced to nothing again. Then you're going to be destroyed. It says, but this is what happened to Nebuchadnezzar for his pride. It says, you will live in the fields with the wild animals, and you will eat grass like a cow. 7 periods of time will pass while you live this way, until you learn. See, this is the point I want to get. Until you learn that the Most High, Yahawah BAHASHAM all right? Because Yahawah is going to rule on the earth through Mashiach, YAHAWASHI, all right? Our earthly king is going to be David, and our spiritual king on the earth will be YAHAWASHI. And the king over all, the master of the universe, will be Yahawah. Okay, it says, until you learn that the Most High rules over the kingdoms of the world and gives them to anyone he chooses. And the Lord is going to give these kingdoms of the world and this earth, this planet, to his chosen, to his people. All right, beginning under his son, YAHAWASHI, the rest of the 12, beginning with David, and the rest of the 144,000, which is the governing body, and all Israel in time will be saved, and all his people will be righteous. So with that, I say Shalawam, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, by whom we do function, double honors unto my apostles, my elders, and my teachers at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so. Salutations, peace, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, that house of David. To you brothers out there fighting this good fight of faith, keep it up. To you sisters doing that which is becoming of women, Shalawam. To those that are addicted unto this ministry, I say Shalawam. On to the next one. Shalawam.